Well, one thing we've seen a huge increase in use of the library. So I came to this institution in January 23. So it was after the height of the pandemic, and there were maybe 5 students in the library at a time, ever, like, all day. And we have been steadily increasing that, first by just communicating what the library was. There was a misunderstanding. So, it kinda drove me a bit wild that I couldn't get kids to come in. So I just started trawling the hallways. We have basically social spaces all along the hallways of our buildings, and so you could stop and say, "Okay, why are you sitting here?" Especially the ones immediately outside the library and not in there. And some of it was just lack of information. Some of it they said, "Well, we can't eat in there." Yes, you can eat in the library. "We're not allowed to talk." You can absolutely talk in the library. I don't care if you run around and scream. I mean, I'd prefer you don't, but I'm not gonna, freak out about it. There was a sense of, well, we wanna play one of the big focuses was that a bunch of them were playing either Magic or Dungeons& and Dragons, depending on the group, and so I said, "Well, what would you need to feel like you could play those games in the library?" Some of it was just clarifying the rules, some of it was they said, "Well, if you had the stuff for us, like, if we didn't have to bring our dice," it was like, "Cool, we have 50 packs of dice you can check out now. We have DM screens, we have all these different things." Some of it was just getting people in, and then once we got people in, we tried really hard to demonstrate that if they asked for something, they would get it. So, for example, one of my big things is I always, as everyone else does, I have my phone. I carry it with me everywhere, right? If a student tells me they want something, I order it for them immediately on my phone and I show it to them. I say, "Look, we've bought it. It's coming." Um, Couple other things that we do as far as, like, just trying to get students to come in. We hired a outreach specialist, who does events, and some of them are the events that you would find in most academic libraries, at least here. So we have the therapy dogs that come for visits. We have, some art events. My outreach coordinator got very good at working with local stores that do things. So, like, our local, plant nursery comes and does a plant sale, and they donate the plants, but in exchange, they're getting students who might be interested in knowing more about their business. Similarly, we have for some reason, we have the world's biggest bead factory in this city, like crafting beads. They come and do huge demonstrations of all the stuff you can do with beads. So just getting people in and getting people to see this as a space that they own, and to do that, it's gotta reflect them, right? So, like, what I often tell students is, you need to tell us what you want, because if you don't, with a lack of information, we will default to what we like, and the chances of you having the same interests as a bunch of 40-year-old white ladies is pretty small. So, you need to tell us.